pathetic. Let's sort that out. So at the moment my horn setup is two of the old snail horns in there. As you heard, they're not the best, and it is a charged battery on this thing. What I have got though is I rescued this old FIAMM horn. This is about 115, 120 decibels. This is quite a bit louder. So what my intention is to mount that in there. I can show you roughly. I can get my arm in, which I can't. There we go. So it's going to go in there roughly with the cap falling off. There's clearance there on the belts and everything. And then what I'm going to do, take these horns out, and I'm going to put a relay on these, on the wiring, and then pick up a supply from the battery box under the seat, run it all the way around the frame to that. I'm pretty sure this is a Harley switchgear on there, which should be a 2-wire rather than banging out to earth on the handlebars. So we'll do a quick test and we'll see what wiring we have got to play with. Got my meter set up on the diode test. As you can see, that's working when I short it out. Put it to ground. So nothing on that one. That is my ground wire, hopefully. So the other one, if I put that onto, plug it into there, put that onto DC volts, 20 volt range, put the ignition on, wherever the ignition switch is gone, press the horn button, yeah, alright, you see my battery's a little bit low, there we go. So that tells me that is a 2-wire switch. So what I need to do, I can basically use these 2 wires for the first 2 connections on the relay.
15 minutes later.
So what I've done, I've wired the existing horn circuit to 85 and 86 on the relay. That leaves 87 and what's the other one? 87A, something's written on the back there. 30 and 87 for the horn itself, because it's a higher amperage horn than the existing ones. That's why I need a relay, otherwise I'm going to breathe the cabling out or the switch out. So that's all in there. I've just riveted that there for now. It's a little bit loose, so I need to tighten that up. And I also need to weatherproof it somehow, which I'll do at a later date. So far, if I press the horn button,
everybody knows you never go full retard.
Turn the ignition on, press the horn button, that side is operating. Happy days. Next bit, mount the horn. Right, the mounting for these FIAMMs is quite simple actually. 8mm hex head bolt, which is, I think is about 30mm across flats, goes in there, bolt through the frame, not on the other side, job's a fish. So I'll get that drilled in down there. I won't bother boring you with that because they'll be upside down and all sorts swearing at it.
A few minutes later.
There she is, all fitted in there now, nice and secure, not in contact with anything, missing all the belts. I think we're all good to go. Right, next job, wiring. Right, so I'm using a 2mm cable which is rated at 25 amps. I think, as I said before, the horn is about 18 according to the manufacturer. So we should have plenty of scope there. And camera shot. You do that. Get in there again. You do that one there. It's a bit better. Tug test passed. And all I'm going to do this one, because this one is my supply to my horn. Put a heat shrink over the end so I know which is the positive. Why yellow? Well, because that's what I've got in that size. Just to pretty up the loom a bit, keep everything where I want it. I need a bit of this nylon loom sleevey stuff. you can see it, doesn't it? Can be a bit of a bugger to thread on though. There we go. Anybody that's watched before, it's like threading your old swimming trunks lace back in.
$2,000 later.
And to tie the end up, just put heat shrink over the end, keep everything pretty and in place. And rinse and repeat on the other end. And there we have one cable made up, ready to go from the relay to the horn and back to the earth point. So what I've done, I've run the cable all the way back from the relay down the frame to the battery box. I've put in one of these inline fuse holders, 25 amp fuse, and I've found a handy little power supply bit I can jump off there straight off the battery. Bear in mind this is only temporary because my next job is actually tidy up the battery wiring, which looks a little bit tired and dated. So should we see if the horn works? So ignition on, here goes nothing. Yep, I like that. Shut up, child. So there we are then, that works, very nice, has made me chuckle a little bit. Hell of an improvement to what was on there originally. Next job I need to do is tidy up the wiring a little bit, which I might cover in another video, I might not. You've obviously seen that I haven't put many videos out recently, just the way it is. So thanks for watching.